Let's talk about the thing we college instructors all dread seeing in our email inbox, the student course evaluations. You've worked hard designing a challenging, meaningful, intellectually enlightening course. You're committed to high academic standards, but then you get that student comment, the one that says that you're unorganized or that your class was full of busy work. Look, these evaluations matter for your career. They're likely to get factored into promotion decisions, tenure review if you're on the tenure track, or continuation of employment if you're an adjunct faculty or contingent faculty member. Now, it's true, you could probably juice your student evaluations by watering down your course, making it easy for students to get a good grade. Happy students, after all, give good reviews. But there's a big problem here. Your commitment to a meaningful challenge is the source of your course's value. And I'm here to tell you that you can absolutely maintain your high academic standards and still get strong evaluations. It all starts with the realization that student evaluations aren't primarily a measure of your teaching effectiveness. I know, right? They're a measure of what? They're a measure of student experience and satisfaction. So in this video, I'm going to give you 3 strategies that will allow you to keep your standards exactly where they should be while boosting your student evaluation scores. We're going to do this with 3 levers that improve student experience in ways that directly pay off on those course evaluations. No matter what you teach, who your students are, or what kind of teacher you are, you can easily and consistently work these levers into your teaching. And be sure to stick around to the end of the video where I will give you a final tip that is proven to work, but may not be for everyone. Lever number 1, ask for feedback early and often. Think of this as your early warning system. Of course, we often wait until the last week of the semester to get that official feedback when it's too late to change anything for the students. You need to be checking in multiple times starting early, so I suggest an anonymous check-in around week 4. At that point, the initial chaos of the semester is over, but students are not yet fatigued. Ask them simple but direct questions like, what is one thing that's confusing you right now? What can the instructor do to assist your learning? You can do this with a survey tool like Qualtrics or Google Forms. You can do it in your learning management system or the old-fashioned way with paper feedback forms. This is useful in so many ways. First, asking for feedback signals that you are interested in teaching them, not just teaching your topic. When students can anonymously vent their minor frustrations to you, they are also less likely to write that frustration down on the official high-stakes evaluation at the end. And finally, their responses actually give you information about how to improve their experience. After you get the feedback, look through it, find the themes, and most importantly, thank them for their input and then make visible changes. Cut one of those low-value assignments. Clarify some in-class directions that you've given them. Tell the class, I heard you in the feedback, so we're making this adjustment. This is radical responsiveness, and it builds trust. That brings us to how we design the coursework itself. When students complain about busy work, what they often mean is unclear work. So that brings us to lever number 2, transparent assignments. This is the most effective way to eliminate that feeling that students have that they need to be reading your mind in order to succeed in the course. You can use the Transparency in Learning and Teaching, or TILT framework, or something similar to design assignments that are crystal clear. Every major assignment in this kind of approach includes a description that has several things laid out. Number 1, the why. Clearly explain the assignment's purpose. Link the assignment directly to your learning objectives and ideally a future skill or career outcome. If they know why they are being asked to do something, they are much more willing to struggle to accomplish it. Number 2, the what. This is the criteria for success. Use an incredibly specific rubric. Be kind with your clarity. This isn't just grading criteria. It's a detailed instruction manual to your students for how they can succeed. And number 3, give examples. Provide examples of strong student work from previous semesters. This eliminates that ambiguity and shows them exactly what a successful outcome on this particular assignment looks like. And then you incorporate this final thing that's really important, what I call the colleague check. We are all victims of our own expert blind spots. Before you deploy a major assignment, have a colleague, a writing center staffer, someone in your school's teaching and learning center read your assignment and then ask them, what would you do first if you were a student? If they hesitate, your assignment is probably not as clear as you think it is. All right, we've got the feedback loop and the clarity thing nailed down. Now let's talk about a strategy that feels maybe like we're gaming the system, but you're doing it for a good cause. This is lever number 3. Tell your students about your teaching choices and explicitly link your teaching choices to the very language used on the evaluation form. So if your evaluation form asks something like, is the instructor organized? You need to start every class session with some version of, the organization of today's class session will be ... Now, by explicitly using that word organization over and again with your students, you are creating a positive association between you, the instructor, and that term organization. And that association will pay off come evaluation. When you are proactive in seeking feedback, crystal clear in your assignment descriptions, and radically transparent in your teaching choices, you counter student frustration. The low scores in those evaluations disappear, and they get replaced with comments like, this class was really hard, but I learned so much. That's the kind of evaluation that validates your work and boosts your career. Now, as I promised, I have one final tip to help raise your student evaluations. But honestly, I feel conflicted about giving it because it's not for everyone. So take this with a grain of salt. You can nudge your evaluations higher if you are consistently enthusiastic and friendly. The wackiness of student course evaluations means that there is a general halo effect, meaning that if students have fundamentally positive feelings about you, they're going to give you high scores on evaluation questions even when you haven't earned it. And if you can maintain a high energy, friendly persona when you are in front of students, that is likely to translate into positive feelings. So if you can pull this off, by all means, go for it. Maybe all of us can stand to put forth a bit more effort to come off as friendly and enthusiastic in front of our students. But I know this is not going to work for everyone, whether because of your own fundamental personality or even your physical abilities or appearance. Some will wisely recognize that this is not a lever that they want to spend energy trying to pull. That's why it's here at the end, and that's why I've also given you 3 other reliable levers that any thoughtful instructor can pull. All right, let's get specific. Which of these 3 levers are you pulling first? Are you implementing the week 4 check-in? Are you gonna get a colleague to read your next big assignment and give you input on its clarity? Let me know in the comments below. And if this video has been helpful to help you feel more confident about those end of semester forms, hit the like button and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next video.